Okay. Good morning, student. Today we will see the remaining part of the our unit number 3 chapter, that is the lambda or anonymous function, or it is also called as nameless functions. Lambda function is a anonymous function. That means this is a function without the name. Basically, we see the when we define the function in a program, Python program, we use the keyword depth, and after that each and every function having their name by default. We always be provide a name of the function, depth function name, and there in parentheses, in the parentheses we have to provide a parameter and then colon. We will see this one. That means each and every function have a function name. But lambda function or the anonymous function are the function, those function having a without names. These functions are called as the lambda function or the anonymous function. With lambda function is defined along with the keyword lambda, and to use the lambda function in your Python program we use the keyword lambda. Syntax is there, we have to see here lambda, arguments, colon, and the expressions. For example, add is equal to lambda a comma b colon a plus b, and print add 10 comma 20, the output will be the 30. So in this way we have to be use the lambda function without name. And syntax is that lambda, their argument there are the two argument value is there, a comma b and colon, and then expression a plus b, and then print add 10 comma 20, so output will 30. So this is generally we'll see about the lambda function. Now use of the lambda function. What is the use of the lambda function? The lambda function is used when we require a function without any name for very short span of time. So generally lambda functions are used in your Python program. Their existence or their span to use is very much shorter. So at that time you use the lambda functions. And then lambda function is used when we want to use some anonymous function inside the another function. So these are the two use of the lambda functions, and due to this one we are able to use the lambda functions in your programs. Now here's one example is here, dep my underscore function, n is a parameter, return lambda a colon, here is the expression a raised to power n, then x is equal to my underscore function, print x, and here is the values are provided. Here is the first value is 3, second print x into bracket 2. So output 2 raised to power n, that means 2 raised to power 3 is 8, so 8 is output. Now then document string, or it is also called as a doc string. So document string is just similar to the comment statement. It is a convenient way of associating document with the function. It is also known as a doc string. So what do you mean by the document string or the doc string? So to use a document string or a doc string in a program, we use a triple quote in a program, Python program. So there is a this is very much similar to the comment that are used by using the hash, and then we write the comment. So but there is a one very important differentiation between these two, one comment and string, doc string. The difference is that when you use the comment in a program and we execute the program, you are not able to see the comment at the output screen. But when you use the doc string in a program and when you execute the program, you are able to see the doc string at the output screen. So these are the basic difference between these two, that is the comment and the your doc string. So syntax, how to use this doc string in the program: dep function underscore name, then there is a parameter, then colon, and use the triple quote to pass the doc string. You use the triple quote. In a triple quote you need to be write the your doc string. So triple quote document string explaining the function, and triple quote close, then function body, then return. So here is the example is given here, and now we see one example also here. Now we see the rules for using the documentation string. So what are the rules? So it should be a declare using triple quotes. It should be begin with the capital letters and end with the period. The first line should be a short description. Whatever the first line we have to be, this must be a very short line. If there are more lines in a documentation string, the second line should be a blank. So these are the rules. These are the 4 rules to writing the documentation string in a Python program. First one is it should be written in a triple quote. It should be beginning with a capital letter. First line should be a short description. If there are the number of lines, then second line must be a blank. So these are the 4 rules how to write the documentation string in a Python program. Now another point is good programming practice. What do you mean by the good programming practice? Good programming practice means when you write a Python program, you have to be follow some good practices. If you follow these good practices, you use that particular practices, then your programming becomes the very effective ways. To become the Python program too much effective, you use some good practices. So which are that good practices? Take down number one by one. Number one, make use of meaningful variable names. Whatever the variable name you are to be given in a Python program, this must be very much meaningful. Second one, insert blank line to separate the function. Suppose there is a function is there, so you always be a blank line to separate the functions, classes, statements inside the functions. Then make use of appropriate comments in your program so that code becomes readable and understandable. To become your program more understandable, more readable, use the comment whenever it is required. Make use of documentation string to explain more about the function. Again, likewise, using the comment, you use the doc string also to explaining more about the function, more about the programs. Then use spaces around the operators. Function name should be written in a lowercase. It is very important practice. Whatever the function name you have to be given, this must be written within a parenthesis, within a lowercase. Make use of underscore whenever required. Suppose your name is very much lengthy, long name you have to be given for a function, so use the underscore. That's why there is no difficulty to understand that particular name of the function. So it is like that. Use the underscore whenever required. The class name must be written as the first letter capital in a block of names. So these are the 8 good programming practices. Due to this one, your programs becomes more effective ways, or your programming becomes the more effective. So these are the practices you need to be follow. Now then, introduction to the module. What do you mean by the module? Introduction to the module. What is module? So basically, module in Python are .py files in which set of functions are written. What do you mean by the module? Module means every .py file that are written within a Python are called as a module. Suppose you take any blank Python file also that is saved within by using the extension .py. So these are also your module. Modules are imported using a import command. So if you want to module are need to be import. Modules are need to be import in a Python program. So these are imported. Each and every modules are imported by using the particular import keyword or the import command. For example, import math dot square root and into bracket 285. So the output is there 5.0. So math is your module. Your dot square sqrt is also it is a particular file in a that particular module, that is a math. So we can say that module is any file with a .py extension. In a simple words, a module is a file consisting of Python code. Another way to define the module is a file consisting of a Python code. A module has ability to define functions. A module can also contain executable code. Python provides a concept of module which helps to logically organize the Python code. Why to write the module? Basically, basic question is that why to write the module? So modules are written to organize your Python code in a very best way. For this purpose, modules are written. In module, we can group related code which makes the code easier to understand as well as use. So in a module, what will happen? We group the similar code in a single place and that save into a particular file. What will happen? Due to this one, you are able to be organize your code very much easily and you are able to be understand that particular Python code and in a very much easy way. So these are the some benefits, these are the some advantages to using the modules. Now then, another important point that is called as the import statement. There are many variables and functions present in the module. We can use them by using the import statement. Suppose there is a math is a Python file. Math is a module. In a math, there are the number of modules, there are the number of Python codes that are written. Suppose square root, trigonometric function, derivatives functions for that particular .py files are written. So if you want to get that particular file or get that whole math file, math module, so at that time how to use that particular file into your program. So for using that particular module or the file of the module, you have to be use one particular keyword or the statement, and that name of that particular statement is a import. By using the import, you are able to be use that particular module into your program. So for using that particular module into your program, import statements are very much important here. Again, Another concept is that when we use from import statement, there is again one from import statement is also there. So why, when to use that from import statement? Then we can use only selected variables or functions within that module. Suppose there is a math module is there, and in math there are the number of sub modules are there, sub files are there, sub .py files here, but you don't want to extract or import whole math module. You just want to import the square root file. So at that time you use which particular statement? From import. Which statement you have to use? Instead of import, just only use the from import and then name of that particular file, that is called as a square root. So instead of extracting or importing whole math module, we just use the only square root file from that math module. So for this purpose, import and from import statements are going to be used. Take the one example here, from math. Likewise here, from math import square root, print square root 25 is equal to square root 25. So output will be square root 25 is equal to 510. So in this way we have to use the from import. From math import square root. Likewise. Then important point here, name of the module. So name, we are able to give the name to the module, and names are given by using the underscore name underscore. Wait, how to give the name to the module? Name, sorry, underscore name underscore their attribute. For example, take an example, module program 3.py print welcome, print name of this module is colon underscore name underscore. So name underscore output is first output is this print welcome, and second output of this print, name of the name of this module is, what is the name of this module is? It is the name of this module is a main. So name of this module is underscore, sorry, name underscore. So in this way we are take the particular name to the module by using underscore name underscore. So I think this is sufficient for today's lecture. Remaining part of this unit will be continued in a next lecture. Thank you very much.